Have you ever found yourself stuck in the cycle of overthinking? You know, that endless loop of thoughts that keep you awake at night, or that constant questioning that hinders you from seizing opportunities? Overthinking is a universal predicament. It's that nagging voice whispering a chorus of what-ifs that often leads us into a vortex of inaction and uncertainty. It's like being trapped in a maze, where every turn seems to lead to another dead end, and every decision feels like a monumental challenge. We've all been there, haven't we? Paralyzed by the fear of making a wrong move, we often miss out on the beauty of spontaneity, the thrill of taking risks, and the joy of discovering new paths. Overthinking can rob us of these precious experiences. But what if there was a simple rule that could help you break free from this cycle? Introducing the 5-second rule, a concept from Mel Robbins, a renowned author and motivational speaker. This rule is not about picking up food from the floor, mind you. It's a mental hack, a simple yet powerful idea that can be a game changer in your life. Imagine having a spark of inspiration or an urge to do something. Now, instead of pondering over it, you take action within 5 seconds. That's the 5-second rule in a nutshell. It's about seizing the moment before your brain kicks into overdrive and drowns you in a sea of doubt and overthinking. Let's break it down further. You feel an instinct, an urge to act on a goal. You must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill the idea. Why 5 seconds? It's long enough to be a window of opportunity, but short enough to beat the brain's tendency to squash your ambitions. So, how does it work? The moment you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're shifting the gears in your brain. You're moving from an autopilot state to an active and decisive state. It's like a rocket launch sequence that propels you into action. It's not just about big life-altering decisions. It's applicable in your everyday life, from waking up in the morning without hitting the snooze button to speaking up in a meeting. In essence, the 5-second rule is a tool that propels you towards action and away from hesitation and overthinking. You might be wondering, how can something as simple as a 5-second countdown lead to transformative change? Well, let's dive into the psychology behind the 5-second rule to understand its power. Think of the 5-second rule as a mental gear shift. It's like switching from a slow ruminative gear into a fast, action-oriented one. Our brains are wired with a habit loop, a neurological pattern that governs any habit. The loop consists of 3 elements: a cue, a routine, and a reward. Overthinking is a routine that often gets triggered by a cue, such as a challenging task or a daunting decision. The reward? Well, ironically, it's the illusion of problem solving without the risk of taking action. The 5-second rule interrupts this habit loop. When you start counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're essentially setting a new cue, one that triggers a different routine: immediate action. This action, no matter how small, is the beginning of a new habit loop. One that's centered around doing rather than overthinking. Let's illustrate this with an example. Imagine you're planning to start a fitness routine. Every time you think about going for a jog, your mind starts running faster than your legs ever could. You think about how tired you'll be, how cold it is outside, and before you know it, you've talked yourself out of it. But what if, the moment you think of going for a jog, you start counting down from 5 and then lace up your shoes and head out? No overthinking, just action. That's the power of the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is not just about breaking the habit of overthinking, it's about igniting a do-it-now mentality. It's about telling your brain that when an idea or an inspiration strikes, there's no time for debate. There's only time for action. With the 5-second rule, the time between an idea and action is minimized, empowering you to become the driver of your life. It's a simple yet powerful tool that can spark immediate positive change, one 5-second countdown at a time. Now that you know what the 5-second rule is and how it works, the next step is to apply it in your life. So how do you go about implementing the 5-second rule? It's surprisingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. Here are some practical tips and strategies to help you get started. Firstly, recognize when you're hesitating or overthinking. This is your cue to use the 5-second rule. As soon as you feel that hesitation creeping in, count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take action. Let's say you're struggling with procrastination. You have a report to write, but you keep putting it off. Instead of letting procrastination win, use the 5-second rule. As soon as you think about the report, count down from 5 and start writing. It's not about completing the whole task in one go, but about breaking the inertia of inactivity. The same applies to making tough decisions. Instead of agonizing over the options, count down from 5 and make a decision. The 5-second rule doesn't promise that every decision will be perfect, but it does ensure that you are moving forward, not stagnating in indecision. The beauty of the 5-second rule lies in its flexibility. You can use it in a variety of situations, transforming hesitation into action, procrastination into productivity, and indecision into decisiveness. Remember, the key to the 5-second rule is consistency. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. So, are you ready to break the cycle of overthinking and ignite positive change in your life? It's time to put the 5-second rule to the test. The beauty of it lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require any complicated techniques or lengthy preparations. Just 5 seconds of courage to propel you into action. Picture this. An idea sparks in your mind. Instead of pushing it aside or drowning it in doubt, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and embrace it with open arms. That's the power of the 5-second rule. It's a gateway to spontaneity, a tool for breaking the shackles of hesitation. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. And that step could be as simple as counting down from 5. So why not give it a try? Start small, start now. Let the 5-second rule guide your actions and fuel your transformation. The next time an idea or impulse strikes, don't wait. Just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and go.